Yeah, but it's always early. I think it might be now. I don't know.
We're live.
What's going on, everyone? It's Adam and Craig with Grandstand Golf. This is our round two DFS Showdown targets for the 2021 WGC Workday Championship. Craig, we're at Thursday night here. I'm trying to figure out what day. Thursday night, and we're one less in the field. We had Cantlay drop right before this show. We had Wolf withdrawal now, so we're kind of two down in the field already.
Yeah, that's Wolf's second Thursday withdrawal in a few tournaments here. So, yeah, you got
He's
to be you got to be disappointed if you took a chance on him
I
this
think
week.
he's definitely in that category of like I got to see something first before I'm rostering him.
I'm not rostering him until I see something.
Yeah. Thank you everybody for joining. I see some people live in there. Our chat's already going. Thank you everybody for watching. Subscribe, hit that thumbs up, all that good stuff. You win with the surge base. We all saw it coming.
Yeah,
Come on, who didn't see that coming?
Adam's just basking in his glorious Sergio play right now. I don't know. I don't know what's working more, your Sergio pick or Sergio's pants today.
Sergio's bats are a little bit crazy. So I don't know if we want to start talking round two right away, but my first take is I'm not playing Sergio. He was, I think, a stroke and a half better ball striking on
I
the
think he's
field.
number one tee to green.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
he's going to be super highly owned. And I got enough exposure tournament long. Like, if he does well and I don't do well in
You're good.
Showdown, I'm okay with that. Like, that's fine. But to have, like, the added stress of then again doubling down on Sergio, too much for my.
Your delicate heart can't handle that.
Well, my head would be fully gray by then. By next show.
Yeah. uh, So, I mean, beyond that, beyond Sergio, just grinders up at the top of the leaderboard.
I mean, that's what I'm seeing. I kind of what I expected. The veterans will kind of continue the rise. I think. I don't know if this is a little bit of teaser, but around you got to go get up and down. Around the green game to me is huge. Um, I mean, I know Dustin and Bryson can,
Well,
but you can't overpower. If you overpower, you still have to go up and down from where you're trying to overpower from.
yeah, I think one of the things, so if you think about it, sort of, those guys do have really good short games, but
Yeah,
so often they just have like a built in, say, half stroke or stroke around that they just get because of how much they can overpower golf
yeah,
courses. But, I think this course does show that architecture can take away a little bit of that advantage if it's done well. Uh, so you look at Horschels, you look at Kisners, you look at
yeah.
Cameron Smith, Patrick Reed, like these guys are grinders that have elite short games.
Absolutely. They've been around the
Joaquin
block.
Neiman, like I think it's a course that we're gonna not necessarily see. I mean, we might see a top player leading this thing at the end, but that's
Yeah,
only because they have elite short games to go with all the other things they do well.
yeah. The
I think
one
there's a guy there at -4 that really stands out to me as someone who might be pressing.
there's a couple at -4 that are very interesting. I was just gonna say with the leaderboard right now, my one regret looking at the leaderboard, I've quite a bit of web on some Fitzpatrick, but Brooks, I got no Brooks, and I'm scared.
So I think we've spoken about this on the podcast, but Brooks looks back to me.
Yeah, I think
Just
so.
in terms of the eye test.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I just kind of convinced myself that his win wasn't that convincing, but he's playing really good right now.
And I think they had mentioned it briefly. I didn't get all the way through. I wasn't able to watch through the morning. So I was
Mhm.
watching it recorded and I didn't get all the way through. But they had mentioned how he physically was back, but then he's sort of mentally in that mind frame
Yeah,
where he doesn't trust it yet. He's still making the compensations he was making before he trusted his, or like
yeah.
before his knee felt fine. So I think that we're gonna see him, in time for players, in time for Augusta. Like Brooks is gonna be dangerous come these big tournaments.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just when Brooks steps on that tee and he has that swagger that he can beat everyone, even though he might not be that high in the world rankings or in the projections or on the sports book, he has that kind of cockiness
He still thinks
swagger.
he's the top dog.
Yeah, he does. And he's like, come catch me. I'm gonna go out there, come catch me. Like,
Yeah. The one thing I did see was, and a guy I have no, we won't linger
yeah,
too long here, but we'll get into our picks. But Rory McIlroy looked great. I
except
mean,
for his
aside from
putting
the
from
fact he was
8 feet
missing
or
putts inside
6 feet.
10 feet, he looked like he could have gone low today.
Yeah, Peck. English completely. We were talking about our pick so far. I think that's the one that we're not kind of super excited about the next 3 days as one of our sleepers. But that's what we mean. Like, you got to get up and down. And I think he went back and forth and then try to get back up again, and it rolled back to his feet, and then like just completely blew up.
Yeah, just two real quick here. John J. Douglas. I'm curious to know what you got for lineups here. If you're rich biatch through one round, whether it's showdowns or whether it's you're just liking the way the it's shaken out for the tournament long. And then Rat Tail, yeah, Desham bust is for sure. I don't know that par five that he ended up with a par putt. I saw, they showed on the broadcast his trail of trying to get over this swamp that he had to try to carry. I don't know what he was thinking going for that. I never saw the actual shot, but it looked like he had no business trying to play out of the middle of nowhere, trying to go for the green. But anyways, I
have my YouTube open here as well. I can't see the live. I have top chat and live chat. I had no idea what this comment you were talking about. I had to switch over to the live chat. Now I see it. So hey, if you're rich, awesome.
Yeah,
John Jay, rolling it, man. Okay, let's flip over to the next slide here. We talked about,
and just real quick, Myron, I am also doing pretty well in Puerto Rico. I need a couple of guys to make cuts, and then
yeah,
we got two guys in second place right now. So I'm assuming your lineup's looking pretty similar to mine.
Well, I need your boy though, Sa, to get.
I know that's the one I need to make the cut.
But he's in the morning tomorrow, so at least by midday, I'll know if I'm through.
But and I think it's Brandon Wu and Pendrith are both in second, and then Percy, if you played him as well, he is doing pretty well.
Yeah, Puerto Rico's looking good.
Yeah. So round two preview, pretty close to even par, scoring average through one.
So I guess we talked about a little bit. What did we learn about the concession as a golf course? I think it's a great viewing experience so far. I think it's a great test where you can blow up. We can see DJ and Bryson go really high, Harris English, or we can see guys go low. Like it, and I think that's exciting for the rest of the round because a 6-under lead isn't safe. Like
nothing
that person
safe.
still has
no
to play
cut
54
tournament.
holes.
I think.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of golf still to be played, and it's so easily, and a big number can be made so quickly and so easily.
By anyone on the leaderboard, absolutely, they could fall 3 shots back on a hole without a doubt.
Yeah. Now, I think one of the curious thing is going to be, I would like it if this tournament moves back to Mexico, just because I think it's good for these,
For sure.
The world WGCs are supposed to be world events. So I think it's better if they're not all in the States. But this is a course that I think should be hosting, whether it's hosting majors periodically or
PGA
whether it's getting some
Championships
kind
or
of regular PGA Tour stop event. I think this is a course that I like seeing these guys play.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. If there's nothing else, Craig, for today or looking forward, should we go into picks?
Oh, yeah. One thing I spent most of the morning, I was out running errands and we're looking at buying a car, but I was trying to figure out what kind of 6-pack I was going to get you to buy me. And then by the end of the day, actually Zalatoris and Rose were only a stroke apart. So I don't think I'll count them before they're hatched.
Yeah, if you miss our live show, we have a 6-pack of local beer on the line. Rose for Zalatoris straight up. I also like
it's going to be a tight one. A lot of golf to be played.
Rose went out early and then fell back like 5 strokes right away. Zalatoris was under par, and then it's gonna be a tight one.
It's gonna be a horse race. Yeah. Okay, let's jump into it. You're up first.
My first one, I'm going right at the top. I like John Rahm, 10,700. I just think we were kind of talking offline, Craig and I. I think that's potentially the scariest person lurking on that leaderboard is John Rahm. He went out 68, 4 under, 6 birdies, 2 bogeys. Kind of exactly. Like, he fits everything I want to see for a showdown play for tomorrow. He's 4 strokes gained tee to green, 4.22, 42nd strokes gained putting, -0.23. He can improve in that without a doubt. He has gained strokes in the last 25 rounds. Like, one of the best players on the planet, arguably.
Sorry, 25 rounds straight?
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
That's strokes gained total, 25 straight rounds. He's gained strokes. We didn't really talk about Rahm being on a heater, but his floor and his ceiling are both the highest, I think, for round 2 showdown. That's why he's priced the highest. I'm going to go right there. The other thing I'm looking at for all 3 of my picks is how, kind of what I talked a little bit, veteran presence around the green, coming into a new course. How do you kind of just thrown into the unknown and can save par, get a birdie on a par 5 by going up and down. He, I think, of the elite players, if we're looking at JT, Rory, DJ, maybe, I think he's the best around the green game of the elite players. Maybe Patrick Reed, but I'm kind of leaving him in the top 5 players in the world. I think Rahm has the best around the green game.
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably make an argument for Xander, but I don't think I need to.
That's yeah.
I actually think Rahm probably does have a better around the green game. The thing, I mean, I think we saw momentum at the end of Genesis for Rahm. He moved up the leaderboard through the weekend. I really like the play. I like him tournament long. It just feels like he is lurking dangerously on that leaderboard.
Yeah. For me,
like
it's a little bit of a FOMO. I have too much DJ ownership tournament long. I wish I had more Rahm. I'm gonna kind of go to Rahm Showdown and try to make it up a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like there was something else I was going to say, but I can't remember.
Sorry, I cut you off. I've been called out for cutting you off, and I just did it right there.
No, it was before you said that. While you were talking, I was thinking there was something I was going to bring up for Rahm, but I can't remember what it is. I like the play a lot. I'm definitely going to have him Showdown tomorrow.
Yeah. All right.
My first one here, I'm going Viktor Hovland, 9,500 on DraftKings. So he's starting to creep up higher and higher and higher. And so essentially what I'm doing is justifying why I'm still going to play him regardless of that. Right. Round 1, he was 71, 1 under, 4 birdies, 3 bogeys. You look at how he did it, though, all the way down at the bottom there. He lost strokes off the tee. He lost 0.9 off the tee. Yeah. He gained on approach. He gained everywhere else. He gained he lost almost a stroke off the tee. He put one in the water on one of the holes, and then he found a bunch of fairway bunkers. Before coming into today, he had gained strokes off the tee in 27 of 28 rounds. So it's not something I'm worried about. He's going to start spraying. Like DeChambeau, if he loses, like he lost, I'm pretty sure off the tee today. It looked like when I looked down at his strokes, it looked like he lost everywhere. But
yeah,
I feel like there might be courses where it's harder for him to right the ship. I think Viktor Hovland, I think he did a really good job. I looked through his shot link, his shot tracker there. It looked like he did a really good job on a lot of the holes. And so I don't really have any worry that he's going to, if he avoids, hitting one in the water or like, that doesn't give me concern. I think that there's essentially, he has almost 2 strokes there. If you look at his usual gaining up almost a stroke off the tee, I think there's about 2 strokes there right off the bat. And then that's assuming that he doesn't do anything special on approach, which he easily can.
Yeah.
Last time he lost 0.9 or more. So the other thing, even if he puts one in the water, I think most rounds, I think he's gaining enough over the course of the round that he brings that back to not a full stroke loss. The last time he lost this many strokes off the tee was the first round at Memorial last year. So I think that the score is going to potentially keep people away because you see him priced up there. I want to say he's maybe 5th in overall pricing.
Yeah, I was actually really curious. I wanted to see who he's around because I think he might actually... Rahm, I know will be chalk. That's fine. I'm going to eat the chalk. I think Hovland won't be that high owned.
And so that's what I think. I think Rory is below him.
So right below him are Bryson, Rory, and Patrick Reed. I think will get a ton of ownership.
I think a lot of people will be like, I don't want to go up to Hovland. I think Rory's got the upside. And I'm not saying those guys don't, but I'm just saying it'll keep Hovland's ownership lower.
And right above him is JT, who finished 3 birdies of his last 4.
Yeah. So I just think that there's tons of upside potential. I think what we saw today, maybe there's obviously on this course where you can put up big numbers, there is, there's a floor below that, but I just think there's upside potential, and I don't think ownership's going to be that high. So I'm continuing to ride Hovland. I think he has got such good form coming in. I like everything about it.
Yeah, I like it. I also think people will naturally gravitate to the 5 unders, the 4 unders, 3 unders. I think the group at -1 might get a little bit forgotten, but again, they're going out maybe playing this 18 for the second time ever after their practice round. 1 under is completely fine. Like I think they got to figure things out. And like he said, or maybe Jack hasn't figured out. That's why he can't gain. He's losing strokes off the tee at his courses or something. I don't know, but I think he's more than likely to turn it around.
Yeah. Okay, what's your next one here?
Okay, so I went up top. I got to get a few plays kind of way below median here. I'm going Jason Day, 7,400 on DraftKings. Not a guy, Craig, I don't roster this guy much. So I think you're surprised why I'm going here. But 71 in round one, 4 birdies, 1 bogey, 1 double. He's 1 under. Looking at his round one ranks, he was 23rd strokes gained tee to green, 1.75. 53rd strokes gained putting, 0.77 negative. I think he can, of course, improve upon that in round 2. But when I look at Jason Day, when I look at the leaderboard, when I see kind of the Webb Simpsons, the Patrick Reeds, the Cameron Smith, it just like it screams to me short game up and down. I immediately like, where's Jason Day priced? Okay, he's priced down. He's not going to get a lot of ownership because he's 1 under. I think he's just that veteran guy that we're going to see creep up the leaderboard. With Jason Day, I also like to see, like, is he healthy? So round 1's out of the way. He got 1 under. That's good enough for me. I saw enough. Can he go out there and get a 3 or 4 under? I think absolutely he can. His short game is so good. It's probably one of the best in the past decade, going back to when he was number 1 in the world. I just think it's a great spot to kind of hop on Jason Day for tomorrow.
Yeah, I totally disagree with the play. I hate the Jason Day play.
Are you kidding?
No, I just assumed. So I actually was doing a whole slide up on Jason Day, and then after I had done most of the things on it, I realized that you had already had him on here, just because I was so far from expecting you to be putting Jason Day as a pick that I didn't see it there. No, I like the play a lot. I totally agree. I think it's the kind of course that I think he's going to do well on. You look at his score, I'm pretty sure he had a double on a par 5, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And so essentially that's a triple. So you look at a lot of these scores that we're pulling up, and it'll be, 6 birdies, 4 bogeys, or there's a lot of people who had a lot of bad holes. So I don't mind the fact that Jason Day only had 2 holes where he made bogeys out there.
Yeah.
I just think there's tons of upside, and I think I just think it's a course that really suits his game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, my next one, this just to me seems like the price is absurd. One of your picks at the start of the tournament, Tyrrell Hatton, comes in 8,900. He went out there and shot a 70 -2. This was probably the guy I was thinking of when I said we're talking about people with 6 birdies and 4 bogeys. So I just don't get it. He fell to 11th in pricing after a whole bunch of other guys who were above him in pricing did not have good rounds.
Yeah.
You look at over the past, basically any amount of time you look at it in the last 12 months, you look at the last 30 days, the last 3 months, the last 6 months, the last 12 months, he's in the top 8-ish in terms of strokes gained total. So I just don't understand why they priced him down so much. And so then it's like, oh, okay, well, is he not the type of player who does well, like in terms of showdown type scoring? Like, okay, yeah, he's good at sort of scoring. Is he a safe player who's just avoiding a lot of bogeys? No, he's second in birdies on the PGA Tour in 2020. So I really have a hard time understanding this.
Yeah.
I do think that maybe, there's a streakiness to Tyrrell Hatton, but to me, in my opinion, that's exactly what I want in a showdown play. If he goes out there and he doesn't have a good day, whatever. But if he goes out there and he has 7 birdies, awesome. What did he do? So he lost around the green. I don't think that's, I don't think he's a poor player around the green. So
No,
I have no concern about that. I think that he's got tons of upside. I just think, to me, he's one of these people, the way this course plays, where if you hit it to the right spot, you can make a lot of birdies. I think that plays into his style of play.
Yeah.
I think there's lots of upside, especially at that price.
Yeah, I mean, I love Hatton. It's crazy to me. I think, what is he in the world? Like 5th or 6th, that he's priced 11th, as he said. Absolutely absurd. It's pure value. It's kind of right above, just above average on DraftKings. Like it makes no sense. I think he started the day 3 birdies in his first 3 holes, fell back a little bit. And
got the birdie streak out of the way early.
Yeah, get it out of the way. Came back to 2 under. So, yeah, I feel he's my one and done pick. I feel really good about him. Like he's just solid all around.
Yeah. And just real quick, Barry had mentioned it there in the chat. The other thing about Jason Day, and one of the reasons I was looking at him, and probably you were as well, is he's a pivot off Fitzpatrick, which I think is totally true. I think a lot of people will be plugging in Fitzpatrick. So looking for someone to differentiate yourself down there.
Yeah.
Okay, your last one here.
Okay, so I'm going to one of your sleepers, Craig. A guy I'm maybe a little bit under-owned on tournament long, but Christian Bezuidenhout, 7,100 on DraftKings. He got 71 today. He's one under, five birdies, four bogeys. I like to see that five birdies, four bogeys. Maybe we can clean that up. So his round one ranks kind of reverse of what we saw with Day, with Rahm. We usually like to see the strong tee to green and then putting that can be improved on. He's opposite. He's 47 tee to green, minus 0.8, 12th stroke swing putting, 1.8. I'm okay with that. We saw Cameron Smith completely drain it from anywhere. If you get a hot putter, like, great, that's fine. But looking at his history, going back to how hot he was to close the year in South Africa to start the year, he's gained strokes in 22 of his last 26 rounds. I think he's going to continue to improve. I just think he's a more complete player than he has been in the past. So yeah, again, looking at strokes around the green, if you look at the entire field over the past 2 years, as big a sample size as we can really get, he is the best around the greens player.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, I think if he can maintain the five birdies but clean up a little bit of the bogeys, I think he's a good play. Again, at one under, good but not great. Shouldn't get a lot of attention at 7,100, but I think has the upside.
Yeah, I had actually I didn't look this up, but I should have. I made a little spreadsheet where I combined short game and around the green and putting for short game because it's part of my rationale for my next pick here. But I would think Bezuidenhout is probably at the top of the list. I know Patrick Reed's up there. I know there's a few other guys up there, but he would be one of those people who is right at the top of that list.
Yeah.
And yeah, I like to play.
He just bled a lot of strokes off the tee. He's not the most accurate driver of the ball. Like, he hangs around kind of high 50% driving accuracy. But I did have another thing. He was pars on, like, he's par in all the par five. So there's more scoring opportunities out there for him.
Yeah, so my last one, like I was saying, I was looking at short game because I do think this is a course where you're going to get a lot of scoring there. Kevin Na, 7,200. He was this is wrong. He was +1. That was 70. Should be 73. What he shot in the first round. But he was 3 birdies, 4 bogeys. I just think when I think of Kevin Na, I think of someone who can be as streaky as anyone, and when they get good streaky, they can put up numbers in such a hurry. So this is one, I'm not going to plug him into 50% of my showdowns tomorrow, but I definitely am going to get a few pieces of him. I don't have him tournament long. He's one of the guys that I was a little bit FOMO on.
Right. Yes.
So I'm happy that he didn't go out there and shoot 2 or 3 under today. But I think that this is the kind of course where, because he typically does have pretty good approach game,
right,
and he's got a great short game, I think this is a course where he could just go out there and put up a number that you're like, man, how did he go out there and shoot 4 under or something? So I looked at the last 2 full seasons. These are PGA seasons. So going back essentially to 2019 fall, and then looking at short games. So that's around the green and putting.
Yeah.
And he's 12th in this field in short game.
Yeah. Okay.
And then looking at approach and around the green. So to me, that kind of combines how much are guys going to be able to stick it close and make birdies? And then if not, how much are they going to, get up and down or like get their chip close to then have a chance to make the putt to avoid bogeys.
Yeah.
And he's 23rd in the field in that, which I think is just, considering that there's so many guys who just blow him out of the water on approach, like especially on the long approaches. I think he's a fairly good shorter, a 200 yards in approach player, but there's so many guys that 220, 230 are just going to be able to get him on the distance. Thinking approaches into par fives and that kind of thing. So I just think there's tons of potential upside here. I'm not going to have him in 50%, but I'm going to have him maybe in a quarter of my lineups and hope that he pops.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. Again, kind of in that low sevens, the veteran who can go out, kind of best case scenario, have that Cameron Smith type of round or the Fitzpatrick type of round, the short game kind of specialist type round where they go out,
walk a few putts in,
Thank you everybody for joining us. Remember to hit that thumbs up button. We got a couple of questions, comments in the chat, Craig. Let's head over there. Collapse from Fitzpatrick. So here's the thing. I mean, if we had to
No, he's
talk,
saying he'd fear collapse if it was Sam Burns.
oh, if it was Sam
He's
Burns,
just taking shots. I don't think it's too soon. Sam Burns is gonna be
yeah,
fine. He's gonna. I think Sam Burns is gonna win before too long.
yeah.
So, uh, I
Ortiz
mean,
was mentioned from Revokes as a bounce back tomorrow. I looked at him for a while. I forget ultimately why I didn't get there. I'd have to look at him again, but he was on my short list as a pick today for sure.
yeah, Palmer, someone we both liked coming in. I'd be curious to know whether his ownership was crazy high. I'd be curious to know whether his round keeps him from being highly owned in Showdown. If so, he might be a good target.
Yeah,
And Barry, I love that core. Rahm,
yeah, me too.
Hovland,
Yeah,
Daybez, like those are all guys I'm high on. Um,
Morikawa tomorrow 7,900.
I'm
Any
still
interest
so
there?
wary of the
Me
putter.
too. Me
I mean,
too.
7,900, I'll take a shot probably.
His approach that like his approach game is one of the best in the world. So
There's just so many chances for him to not like he'll hit it so tight that the putter doesn't matter. But
that's what
it's sort
happened to
of
Sergio today. Like
yeah.
20 inches. Whew, I feel good about
Man,
the putt.
Sergio lost strokes putting still. He just gained so much. Like, that's what I was kind of thinking when you were talking about being 50%. I'm like, man, he's probably going to lose strokes putting, though. Like, yeah, I guess it doesn't matter when you gain like 6 tee to green. Um,
Yeah, he's gonna come
yeah,
back. I
Patty
suspect
Reed,
it.
I like Patty Reed. I potentially will plug him in. It's just ownership's my only concern there.
I'm gonna have Patty Reed for sure. I think he fits the course really well. Finished really well. Yeah, only owner.
And revokes. I think JT is dangerous. I mean, he graded out. What did he end up +1? I think on the day he could have easily been where DJ is right now.
Yeah,
He had a gritty little finish there. Man, I don't know. We'd have to put Hideki in that conversation, I think, too, Myron. Okay, I have not had dinner, so I think I'm gonna take off here. If you guys are if you're not in the Discord,
yeah.
join
Join the
that
Discord.
because
Yeah,
I was absent from it today. I had recorded golf, so I was trying to not get any news as much as possible and watch it as fresh as I could. But yeah, join over there. We'll
yeah.
be chatting about it till lock tomorrow. So
Absolutely.
hopefully, if we don't already see you there, we'll see you guys there.
Yeah. Good luck, everybody.
Yeah, good luck tomorrow. We'll see you guys next time.